evergreen light? Holy crap. Okay. So, you said on the phone that you wanted to make a quilt. Is that right? Okay. Are you making it for your husband? Oh, wow. Cool. Okay. Did you already have a pattern and material set up, or are you just going to go willy-nilly? Okay, so you got the pattern. What kind? Oh, so it's kind of like fleece, but kind of not? I get it. Okay. Sorry, Trixie's here today. She's being super helpful. Really helpful. She's being very protective over the front step today. We had a FedEx guy come, and that was, her world just came apart. So, anyway, if you hear whining, just ignore her. She's fine. So, let me just show you some of my quilts that I have done and how I've done them, and then you can kind of go from there, okay? So, the first thing that I usually do is, like you've done, I've gotten a pattern. I will use, well, depending on who I am doing it for, if I do it for Mike, I usually will do a tie quilt. And if I'm doing it for anybody else, I'll do a jean quilt. I like jean quilts just because they keep you warmer in the winter, because, you know, really it's cold 6 months out of the year. And so, anyway, this is my very first quilt. No judging, no judging. So, it's old. As you can see, it's coming apart and it's well worn. But what I did with this one is I got a CD case, and I cut around it. Not cut around it, I traced around it. And I did a crossed. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then down I did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, so 18, round up. And then what I would do is I would literally spend probably one day just tracing and cutting. And on this one, what I did is I spelled something out with white letters. So this has an E, as you can see, has an E. It actually spells care. That's what my close friends and family call me. I made one for Mike. His is in another room, and his says Mike on it as well. Those are kind of fun because you can kind of personalize them. You can also do like dark white, or dark light, depending on what you prefer. And then I made one for Mike, just a tie quilt, and this one is also really easy. I'll usually get 2 yards, just because Mike likes to tuck it under his feet in his chair, and so I tried 2.5 and it was just too much, so you'll want to just go for 2 yards, and then you'll wash the fabric before. Keep in mind, this is how I do it. You don't have to do it this way, but you want to wash the fabric. Then you'll want to cut the salvage edge off. The salvage edge kind of looks like, it will kind of, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's like a line right here, and it goes all the way down the fabric. And so once you wash it, you want to cut that off, and then you'll just start to tie them. Let me just give you an example of some of the fabrics I don't use, just because it's crazy. So this one gives way too much give, as you can see, way too much give. So when you're sewing it, I tend to stretch the edges, well, in general, and so this would be way too hard, and you can kind of see through it. See, you can see me talking. The next one that is a little harder to use is the kind of a silk, kind of not kind. But this kind is good too, because you can tell what is front and what is back, and you'll need to know that later on. So this one is harder just because there's no give on this one. No give. Like a little bit give, but basically none. And when you're sewing, you need some kind of give. So anyway, what I'll do, I'll first just show you what I do with square, with jean ones. I really like the jean ones. I also really like ties, so it's kind of a toss-up. Anyway, I made most of my nieces and my 2 nephews tie blankets, and I would just go to the store and I would get a fabric that kind of, I thought, would show me kind of that best. So anyway, so I would first get my material, and I would wash it, cut off the salvage edge, and then I will get some, let's see here, okay, let's do, oh, sorry guys, okay, so I already cut one of these squares out, and I'll do it on this one as well. So you lay out the fabric however you want to, whatever kind of fabric you decide. You get a pattern. Like I said, this one's a little bit bigger, but it's okay. 7 by 7 is actually what it is. So depending on how many squares you're trying to fit on a piece of fabric, you'll get I use a Sharpie. This one kind of has a grid system, so it'll be easier to kind of keep it straight, and I just mark around it. Since there's more room. My dog is sleeping. He should be very quiet. This never happens. No one make any sudden movements or she might wake up. On this, you can just cut all the way up. I'm cutting on the black line to save me some trouble in the long run. Okay, and then you cut the bottom edge off of this one. Do you have to be to work at? In 6 minutes? Okay. I'll hurry. Okay, so, like I had explained before, you'll want to know which one is the top and which one is the bottom. The pattern, that is. On this one you can't really tell. They look the same. So just pick a side. line them up, and then you get your sewing machine out, and you will pick a hem size you want. I have a cheating sewing machine, so I just go for the first line, and then you just sew. So sorry for the noise, just 1 second. Almost done. Loosen it up. And then, ta-da! You have 2 squares sewed together. The tie quilts, super easy. What you do is you take your fabric, we'll just use this one because it's here, and you will cut 2 stripes. We'll cut down here. Get it to stay on the table. Okay. 1, 2. And you'll take them and you'll tie them together. Same here. I do it in double knots because single knots won't stay. And then they're tied together, and you do that the entire way around. Corners can be a little tricky, but I'll show you that later. And then with blankets that you need batting, you want to get this kind. It says breathable, ideal for bed and baby quilts. That's the kind I get. Sorry. It looks like this, and I will tear it, or I'll stretch it, and if I need to, and sometimes I'll even cut it bigger than the quilt I'm making, so when I roll it up, the fabric, the bottom part, there'll be batting in the rolled part, like this. So this has batting right here. That has batting, and so that's what I'll do there. In the tied quilts, I don't use any batting, but if you're going to do like a cotton kind of material, I probably would use a very thin batting, because you kind of want them to be breathable but still comforting at the same time. So use it to your discretion, whatever you want, but that's how I do them. I'm here all day long. I'm here all day long, so if you have any questions, give me a call. No big deal. Okay, we'll see you guys. We'll see you later then. You have a good day at work. Talk to you later. Bye.